Hey guys, D1sco here, and today I'm reacting to the casting of Frank Stone, crafting a cinematic nightmare. This seems to be like a behind the scenes thing, and I thought it'd be cool to look at, so let's do it.
You can torture us, but you'll never defeat our spirit.
That's overused as hell.
Cut! That was amazing.
For the longest
Also
time on Dead by
overused
Daylight,
as
we
fuck.
knew that we wanted to offer different types of experience to our players. And a single player narrative experience is definitely one of them. And our fans have been requesting it quite a lot.
I would imagine.
So obviously, Supermassive Games, with their pedigree, their portfolio of game, is the perfect partner to deliver that fantastic horror experience.
The origins of the game stem from behavior looking to expand the omniverse of Dead by Daylight. They approached Supermassive because of our expertise in storytelling. Narrative is incredibly important to us. It's at the core of all that we do. While we are making games, we are also telling stories and delivering a player experience like no one else. So it felt like a really good match.
Come on, people! We got a movie to make!
The Castle of Friendstone is a classic, supermassive cinematic adventure game. I'm coming with you. It's an unashamed horror experience. It's a story that we've been thinking around for quite a long time, and it really fits the omniverse idea that underpins a lot of the Dead by Daylight lore, and so it kind of slipped together as a very natural fit.
It all starts with our 1963 storyline, which is investigation of a missing child, which leads us into a very dark, quite grisly serial killer horror story. But as the story unfolds from there, things go in different directions, and we bring in a lot of different subgenres of horror.
Think that belongs to the boy you're looking for?
The main influences were always to try to be the mystic, something you could actually believe happens, something that you can understand, relate to. At the same time, part of it you don't understand, and it creates a mystery. We're always going back to the classic slasher horror movies and characters that we learn to love and hate
It's
at
like
the
the
same time.
most overused fucking horror
What?
genre. Do something creative.
One thing we really latched onto quickly was the idea of how a piece of creative art
Slasher
could become a
horror is
vehicle
so
for horror.
overused. I've
And
heard
in our
so
case, that's
many
a Super 8
people
film that's being
that
made
have
by a
said
group
that
of
they
teenage
just don't
characters
care to
on the
watch
site
the movies
of an
because
infamous
it's
serial
so
killer's
overused.
crimes.
Like,
And
if
that
you're
felt
gonna
like a
do
vehicle
horror,
where we could bring in
do something
other
else.
influences of horror that we
Please,
really
for the
like.
love of God.
Either of you heard of Murder Mill?
Right off the start of the project, talking with Supermassive, we connected because we're passionate about horror, and we basically get our inspiration from the same sources. So it was great talking with them and seeing that a lot of the sources for inspiration they're using have been the same that we've been looking into at the genesis of Dead by Daylight. So in that sense, our fans and also new players that will experience this can see that both titles are from the same lineage. So for fans of Supermassive Games that still haven't stepped into the fog of Dead by Daylight, this is going to be a great first step.
Do not do it. Do not
audience is always
step
part
into
of
the
who
fog
you're
of Dead by Daylight.
designing
This
for.
game,
Take a look.
Dead by Daylight, is a
You imagine the
fucking
audience, you
mess.
imagine the
It's a
person you're writing
fucking
for.
nightmare.
So
It
we
will
kind of
fucking
imagine the
destroy you
person we're
and
making
your
the game
friendships.
for.
This
And
is
we think
one
about
of the
the
few
things that
games
might
where your
interest
friends
them and
will
the things they'd like to have
refuse to
stories
play
told
with
about.
you. Do
And then
not
we
do
think about
it.
really
Do
cool,
not.
nasty situations.
Do
And we
not
see if we can
join.
match those together. And
Do
the story
not
emerges,
do
the
it.
characters emerge. You start writing it and it'll be like, oh, that's interesting. Oh, I never thought that character would do that.
Well, okay. Are we just gonna stand around, or are we gonna make a movie?
In creating the casting of Frank Stone, building its story, building the characters, we're really, really mindful of Dead by Daylight fans. We know they've got a really, really dedicated fan base. There's lots of people within Supermassive Games who are dedicated Dead by Daylight fans. We wanted to do something that explores that story universe that Behaviour have created and gives players a chance to explore it in a new way outside of Dead by Daylight itself. Also, obviously, we want to take people who've enjoyed Supermassive Games, who enjoy branching adventure games. We want to do something that's really, really cool and that they find engaging, where they can fall in love with the characters, where they can grow to loathe some of the characters and get them killed. The choice is theirs.
Gothic. I like it.
The casting of Frank Stone has been crafted to be a standalone story in the Dead by Daylight omniverse. So anyone that's looking for a great horror experience that taps into human darkness will have a lot of fun with it. Of course, if you're a Dead by Daylight fan, and if you're lore savvy about Dead by Daylight, then there's going to be a lot of little secrets and surprises for you.
I'm glad to see you're all having fun. But if you insist on using my store as a playground, I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to take it outside.
Okay. No, it was definitely interesting learning about the kind of behind the scenes process. I'm trying to think of how it was. Slasher horror, in my opinion, is overused, and whenever I think of horror, well, the first thing that comes to my mind is FNAF, right? Five Nights at Freddy's, because I love those games, and they're not slasher horror. They're different. Slasher horror, I'm not saying it's bad, but it's like slasher horror is overused, right? Because, Hollywood really latched on to slasher horror. Something that I've noticed is Hollywood realized in, the 80s and before that and whatnot, there's a place for these slasher horror movies. And then when you have Friday the 13th and Halloween and Nightmare on Elm Street, and it just took, and many others, it just took off, right? And I get that Hollywood likes doing slasher horrors, and I'm not saying that you can't do a game or a movie that's slasher horror. I'm just I'm just a part of the group that would like something new, that would like for them to be a little more creative, do something new. There's so many other types of horror, and a lot of them, they don't really get used for movies or other things in a while. So I just would like for those to get a bit, more of the spotlight instead of nothing but slasher horror. But in regards to this, I am excited to eventually play the casting of Frank Stone. I don't know if it's my type of game yet because it hasn't come out. I've also never played The Quarry or any other game that's just basically a movie and you get a couple choices. Nor have I've never played any of these types of games, so I'm very excited to see this. Very excited to see the casting of Frank Stone. I don't know if I'm going to play it for the channel or not, or play it very much at all, but we'll see what happens. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell, share the video, do all the algorithmic garbage. It helps us out a lot and means a lot to us, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.